Hey, so welcome back to Universe X, and today, and by today I mean it's still the same day because both these videos are going out in the same day. That's how important this info is. This is a double drop. All right, and we are here to continue with the first looks at a vicious Rejuvenation. So far, we've seen some off the charts cards and some cards that may be a little lackluster. It's kind of weird. Gogeta coming back is definitely cool, but not cool at the same time, depending on how you look at it. But we'll get into all that with the overview that's going to be later. This is just content on content, so we're going to have some fun things. So, like I always try to say, if you like the content, think about subscribing, hitting that notification button. We're trying to grow the channel, and we're just going to keep coming out with more and more content. Now. Past that, if you have not already, thinking about joining the Facebook group, it's going to be in the link. Largest form of information for this game. Enough said. And if you just want to talk and chill with the homeboys, my Discord link is down there as well. You can just chill, try to like share deck ideas, like just kind of shoot the crap about Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball in general, to be honest. And then if you want to be featured on the Rogue series, you can do that too. So let's jump right into green. This video is going to be green and yellow. And so Slug is a Rejuvenation-centric theme. Intended for experienced players, Turles finally gets his first leader card, and trust us, it was worth the wait. Just like in the anime, he uses the Tree of Might to power up, and the first green leader we'll introduce is Lord Slug. So, I just want to point out there, I guess the color and the leader on this one. So, holla at your boy. But, let's just move on. Lord Slug, when this card attacks, and you and your opponent draw a card. Strange, yes. If you have 3 or more energy, when you activate a Rejuvenate skill, draw 2 cards and flip this card over. Awaken, when your life is at 4 or less, and your opponent may draw 1 card, and then you switch up to 2 of your energy to active mode and flip this card over. We're gonna have to see how the rest of it ties in, because this is kind of funny. Now, Lord Slug, Rejuvenated Invader. If your opponent has 7 or fewer cards in their hand, this card gets minus 5,000 power during battles on your opponent's turn. When this card attacks, you and your opponent draw 1 card. Activate main once per turn. If your opponent has 10 or more cards in their hand, play up to 1 mono green Slug's army card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area. Okay, so I'm gonna just say right off the bat, this guy gives your opponent cards. I kind of feel weird that his art is like the same pose on like both sides. Like, it's weird, but some things never change, such as his need for, you know what, actually, let's keep going. It's very interesting. So if your opponent has less cards than needed by this effect, this is going to be a 15k on their turn. But it's kind of cool because when he flips over, your opponent will have to expend a little bit more advantage to get over him, unless, you know, they expend advantage to the point where their hand is too low for this to proc. However, once their hand is too high, you can start playing free cards. Also, being a 20k, even though your opponent's going to have more cards in hand, it's going to be a little harder to block the leader, so that's going to be very interesting. Let's see what the rest of the cards have. Lord Slug, Conqueror Restored. Unique. If your leader card is a Slug's army card, when this card is played from your hand, you and your opponent draw 1 card. At the end of the turn, your opponent chooses up to 1 card in their hand and places it at the bottom of their deck. Okay. Activate main if your leader card is a Slug's army card and your opponent has 7 or more cards in their hand, and 1 or more energy. Choose up to 1 mono green Slug's army card with 1900 power or less in your hand and play it. You can activate the activate main on this skill. Okay, so let us talk about this. This is a 1-drop. So you're going to want to see it. It's got unique, but you're going to want to see this for sure because it has a very, very starterific effect. You look at this card and you play it, you and your opponent both draw a card, okay? But at the end of the turn, they have to bottom deck. What cards like this can do that may seem weird just reading the effect, if you put enough pressure on your opponent to end that turn with less cards than they started, they're going to go down 1 anyway. It's like, let's say they have, I don't know, 7 cards in hand and you make them draw up to 8. But then you assault them for the turn and push out 3 cards from their hand. They then have to go down to 4. And that's actually very interesting. I wonder how much pressure the rest of this deck's gonna have, because that is something that I think you have to be kind of cognizant about. I liked it a lot, and he cheats into play. You know, you play him and you make your opponent draw a card. And if they're going second, then this is automatically a card that gets one of your Lord Slugs, your Slug's army into play. So now you have this thing, you know, let's see, Mono Green Slug's army, yeah, okay, so it doesn't really work with yellow. 2, Metamacha, Invader of Earth. Activate main green if your leader card is a Slug's army and all your energy is mono green, and you send this card from your drop area to your warp, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then play a meta token. Then you and your opponent draw 2 cards at the end of the turn. Your opponent chooses up to 2 cards in their hand and place them at the bottom of your deck. You can activate the main skill of copies this card for the turn. Okay. So that's also pretty interesting. Again, we're looking at effects where you are able to play, you know, these cards and then potentially push cards out of your opponent's hand and they still have to discard them. So you give them more cards to use, but if they use any of them, it's like a loan. You collect interest at the end of that turn. You take it back, regardless of what they spend. And that's actually, I think, a really cool thing. It's gonna really make you pressure your opponent after giving them these free cards. Because everybody's like, oh, well, you know what, I got free cards. Like, what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is you use 2 of them and then you have to go -2 at the end of the turn. So, interesting. The point of this theme is to first increase the size of your opponent's hands. Start by using cards like, you know, Lord, Slug, Conquer, Restored, and Metamacha to fill your opponent's hand. But then you get things like this: King Piccolo, the Dimensional Conquer. Rejuvenate. Once per turn, if your looter card is green and you remove 4 markers from this card, you can place 1 card in this card from your owner's drop area and pay the skill cost. Place the top card of your deck in your life. That's cool. If your leader card is mono green and your opponent has 7 more cards in their hand, you can play this card from your hand with a marker on it, but you can't play unison cards for the turn. Okay, so for 1 green you can play it even though he's a 2 green cost. +1, activate main, choose 1 card in your hand and place it under this card. You and your opponent draw 1 card. Then when you choose up to 1 green battle card with an original energy cost of 1 in your hand and play it. At the end of the turn, your opponent chooses up to 1 card in their hand and places it at the bottom of your deck. Okay. Cool. Then you got Lord Slug, Thwarter of Plans. He's young, he's swole, he's literally flexing. Deflect. Deflect on a 3-drop, you say. Auto Bond 2. If your leader card is a Slug's army card, when your opponent uses the card in a combo, you may place that card in Summoner's drop area. If you do, you and your opponent draw 1 card, then negate the skill for the turn. Then Auto. When this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, if your opponent has 7 or more cards in their hand, play it to 1 green Lord Slug's army with energy cost of 1 from your drop area. Okay, which can be the 1-drop, and the 1-drop can set up the chain again. Interesting. Angela, Invader of Earth. When your leader card is a Slug's army card and your energy is mono green, when this card is played from your hand, activate this skill. At the end of the turn, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, your opponent has 10 or more cards in their hand, draw 3 cards. So this is kind of interesting because you're able to stack how your autos work. So even if your opponent is going to lose 3 cards due to the auto, I'm fairly certain you can stack this auto to go off first. So you read their hand as 10 and yours 6 or fewer, you draw 3 cards, then they get cards minus. If that is the way it works, and I'm fairly certain it does, that's actually really, 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 really janky. Like, that's hilarious. Once they're in this full, you can use these cards to play members, you know? And this is interesting. So you can rejuvenate and flip your leader. I am actually very much so digging that. Now you got Lord Slug, Dark Parasite. Okay, 4-drop. If all your energy, okay, actually, you know what? Yeah, if all your energy is 3, if your energy is 3 or more, yeah, when this card is played, your opponent may choose 1 of their unison cards and place it in the owner's. Whoa! If they didn't, you and your opponent draw 1 card and you choose all of your opponents. So what is that? Yo, wait a second. Okay. So you have to have, your opponent has to have 3 or more energy, and you play this card for 4 energy. Luckily, he cannot be cheated out because he's a little too thick by 1,000, but you play him for 4 energy. Your opponent either gets rid of a unison card or just dark holes their field, just right Gekis their crap. That's crazy. So that's pretty crazy. Then you got 6-star Dragon Ball Parasitic Darkness. You can put it on if your opponent has 3 or more energy and you choose one of your mono green Lord Slug cards, then you cost of 3 or 4. And then place this card under it. You can choose 1 green's Lord Slug Xeno. And with an energy cost of 4 in your deck or hand, play it on top. Okay, so you don't even have to play this card. Yeah, that's wild. I thought you would need to go into Lord Slug Out of Control, but no. So you're actually going to use Lord Slug Dark Parasite, right? And you're going to bring him out by using the 6-star parasitic ball, and he's going to just drop out and tell your opponent to get rid of a unison or just get rid of all their cookies, and it's just gone. That's wild. It's super wild. But Lord Slug Out of Control is an EX Evolve for 2. He has triple strike. Don't knock that. When this card is in rest mode, your opponent cannot attack leader cards or unison cards. Okay. When this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, play up to 1 green Lord Slug with an energy cost of 3 from your drop area, then add up to 1 Dark Dragon Ball. Okay. So when this guy gets killed, you literally bring back the fodder and you get a Dragon Ball. And you're able to just untap, put the Dragon Ball into your Lord Slug, and start rocking again. This guy's going to be very hard to get off the field. He is going to actually just be annoying. So, woo! Yeah, the Lord Slug card's cooking. Okay, let's move on. We need to speed it up a little bit. Wow, Turles has a lot of freaking cards. Permanent. If Turles Crusher Core card in your battle area would be placed in its owner's drop area by one of your skills, instead sent to the warp instead. Auto, when you place this card in your lead area, place up to 1 Tree of Might from your deck into your opponent's battle area. Okay. Auto, when this card attacks, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and look at the top 5 cards from your deck, add up to 1 Turles Crusher Core amongst them from your hand, or to your hand, shuffle. So it's a +2. You're going to gain a card from your deck, hopefully, and then a card from your life. Awaken, when your life is at 4 or less and your opponent has 3 or more life face up, you may draw a card and switch up to 1 of your energy to active mode and flip this card over. Cool, good awakening. Permanent. Let's see. If Turles Crusher Core in your battle area would be placed in its owner's drop area by one of your skills, it is sent to the owner's warp instead. Alright, so that's the same. Then when this card deals damage, you choose the card your opponent loses from their life. Okay, so you're flipping up life and you're just picking it off. That's crazy. Auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card. Okay. Activate main once per turn, choose up to 1 card in your hand and place it at the bottom of your deck. Add 1 Fruit of the Tree of Might from your drop area to your hand. This is just starting to get swifty. Permanent. While in the battle area, this is Tree of Might. When this card cannot be placed in drop areas by your skills. Reduce the combo cost of all Turles cards in your opponent's hand. Battle area by 1. What is this? Auto, if all your opponent's energy is mono green, this card in your battle area starts, oh my gosh, main phase, choose 1 card in your life and flip it face up. If you do, your opponent adds up to 1 Fruit of the Tree of Might to their deck to your hand. Activate main if your leader card is a Turles Crusher card. Place this card in your opponent's battle area. So you can't even just get stuck with it. You can like play it and just ship it. Holla. Oh my god. So your opponent has to flip up their life and you just get a tree or Fruit of the Tree of Might to your hand. You're just plussing. Alrighty then. So let's see this. Read the Tree of Might. Activate battle. If your leader card is a Turles Crusher Core card, all of your energy is mono green. You flip 1 card in your opponent's life face down. Then choose up to 1 of your leader cards' battle cards. It gains 20,000 power. Then if it's a Turles, it gains double strike. Look at him. Look. Look, he knows he's about to get in those cheeks. This archetype looks snapped. Cosmic Rogue. Unique, deflect, critical. If you have 3 or more Turles Crusher Cores in your battle area and 3 or more energy, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 2. So he's a 2-drop. On turn 3, he's a 2-drop with the right conditions. Permanent. During your battle or during your turn, all Turles Crusher Cores in your battle area gain 10,000. And then when this card attacks, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. All right. So let's scroll down, okay? Let's just scroll down. You got 1-drop Turles is an SR, so there's 2 SR Turleses in here. Wonder which one's gonna get the SPR treatment. When this card is played, flip up to 1 card in your opponent's life face up. Okay. Auto, if your leader card is a Turles Crusher Core card, when this card attacks, look up to the top 5 cards of your deck, combo with up to 5 of them, and then shuffle your deck. So I'm pretty sure this is just going to send them to the warp. That's actually just really crazy. And because of the Tree of Might, you can combo with these guys without playing them, or without paying for them. That's just crazy. You got Amond. Okay. Unique. If your leader card is a Turles Crusher Core card, and this card was using the combo from your deck or hand, when this card be placed in the owner's drop area from a combo area, you may play it in rest mode instead. Got you. There's the catch. Send this card from the owner's warp for 1 green to choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 5 or more and KO it. And you can't play copies of the card in turn. Then you've got Diaz. Dies. Yeah. Cool. If you're a leader card, yeah, so he can be played from the combo. And then when this card is played, choose up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 Crusher Core amongst them to your hand, and shuffle your deck. Okay. I'm just gonna say this is so far just really snapped. I don't understand why this card does what it does. We gotta see the other Turles Crusher Core, but this is absolutely insane for no reason. And it's a 1-drop that its first ability isn't limited to Turles, so you can potentially play this in other decks that can get off on the same effects. Now let's look at the Xeno line. Turles, Dark Parasite. So you got this thing. It says if your opponent has 2 or more energy in and you choose one of your mono green Turles cards with an energy cost of 3 or 4, place this card under it. Choose one Turles Xeno, green with an energy cost of 4 in your deck in your hand. Play it on top of this one. The actual dude in question is a blocker. When it activates its blocker skill or is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, your opponent may choose 1 card in their hand and discard it. If they don't, draw 1 card and flip up to 1 card in your opponent's life face up. Interesting, not sure if it's worth getting rid of the SR for. But then, Turles Chaotic Rampage, this man is critical double strike. Those are magical words. With an energy cost of 4, so it's 2 to evolve. When the card evolves in this card, switch this card to active mode, and your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and sends it to the warp, flip it to 2 cards in their life face up. Okay. Auto once per turn when this card attacks, combo with up to 1 green battle card from your drop area with its skills negated for the turn. I'm not sure if the Turles Xeno is worth playing over your Turles SR, but it's still interesting. So this is pretty crazy so far. So now we're gonna move on to yellow and try to speed it up a little bit, because that was, Turles just seems really snapped. I can't wait to just go into that, but Turles just seems snapped for no freaking reason. Yellow, Resurrection Saga and Shadow Dragon Saga. So here we go, our first Whis. When this card attacks, draw 1 card. Auto once per turn. When a yellow skillless battle, why are they still on skillless with yellow? Alright, with 15k power is placed in your drop area from your combo area. You may play it from your drop area. I guess that's cool, but it's alright. When your life is at 4 or less, or you have a yellow unison card with specified cost of 2 in play, you may draw 1 card and then switch up to 1 of your energy to active mode and then add cards to your life until you have 6. So it's one of these leaders. You got Whis Godly Mentor. When he attacks, he draws a card. Once per turn, each opponent's turn, a yellow skillless card is placed in your drop area by combo area. You can play it. That's cool. Activate main, 1 yellow. Choose 1 yellow Son Goku or Vegeta with energy cost of 2 in your battle area and place in its owner's drop area. Choose up to 1 yellow battle card from your deck in hand with an energy cost of 3 and an EX skill. Oh, okay. And the same character name as the card placed in its owner's drop area with the skill, and then play it. It's pretty neat. Now look at this Vados just unison. When your opponent attacks, you may choose 1 yellow skillless card in your hand or drop area and combo with it. If you do, negate this skill for the turn. Okay, so she's actually the only unison so far in the game that can protect itself with a combo. Now, mind you, it's only going to bring it up to 20k, but 20k is still a lot. 20k is enough to protect it for the first turn or 2. So she's going to get her mileage. +1, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, unison cards, and switch it to rest mode. Okay. -4, play up to 2 skillless battle cards with 15k power from your deck or drop area, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. Her -4 is would be a lot cuter if it wasn't like hecka weak. Like, I mean, yeah, you're bringing up 2 15ks, but it's 2 15k vanilla, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. We'll have to see if the cards do. Okay, so you got the 2 15ks in question. You got Vegeta and Son Goku. All these 1-drops for these decks just to start them off. I'm kind of digging it there, but there's a lot of SRs in here that are 1-drops. When this card is played, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck. I keep saying it like that, sorry. Add up to 1 yellow skillless battle card, a yellow unison card, specified cost of 2 amongst them to your hand and shuffle your deck. Auto, when you use a yellow skillless battle card in a combo, draw 1 card, and you can't activate the auto on this card for the rest of the turn. Okay, so it's kind of recursion. So you'll be able to play a 15k and break even on the hand just for going in like that. So that's pretty cool. Now you got these EX Evolves, critical and double strike. I kind of dig it. EX Evolve, 1 yellow, draw 1 card, and yeah. When this card attacks, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. That's powerful. Off the rip powerful. When this card is removed from play from your battle area by opponent's skill, play up to 1 yellow Vegeta with an energy cost of 2 from your deck and or drop area and shuffle it. And then this one, the Vegeta is its mirror. It's critical, or it's double strike, and you know, you choose 1 card. Yellow Vegeta with an energy cost of 2. That's pretty neat. Yep, same thing. When your opponent activates a counter skill during a battle with this card, you may switch this card to active mode and negate that skill for the turn. Alright. When this card is removed from play, you can summon a Goku. So these kind of bounce hand in hand off each other. It's very interesting that these are the build-ups. I kind of want to see more. But so far, we only have these cards, and I'm not sure if that's enough for me. You want to play the deck, but it's definitely cute. Let's move over to the Frieza cards. We've got this right here. Frieza's front side. If your life is face up, you lose. If all your life is face up, you lose the game. When you take damage, flip cards in your life face up equal to the damage taken instead. Okay, this is already spice. Alright, so you're never going to be lower than 8 life. But if all of your life flip up, you die. Permanent cards in your life can only be flipped face up by skills on mono yellow cards, and you can't add face up cards from your life to your hand. So essentially, you can't just have Turles flip all these face up and be like Exodia and just like end your life. So that's pretty cool. When you place this card in your leader area, activate one cutting edge recovery device from your deck. Awaken. When your life is at 5 or less, choose one cutting edge recovery dice in your battle area and place it in its owner's drop area and then flip this card over. Cool. Now, the next one, Frieza Resurrected. You, again, can't have all your stuff face up, and your stuff can only be flip face up by mono yellow cards. Activate battle, once per turn, place up to one card in your life into your drop area. Draw one card, and this card gains plus 5,000 power in double strike. Interesting. So that's a time clock. You have to kind of play a little fast because this is an effect that's made for a long game. Now you got Barrier, a field card with Barrier. Okay. When a card in your life is flipped face up, choose one of your opponent's cards and switch it to rest mode. Alright. Activate main. If all of your energy is mono yellow, you can choose one card in your life on one yellow Frieza army card in your battle area, then place them in the owner's drop area. Draw 2 cards, then choose up to one mono yellow Frieza army card or mono yellow unison card in your hand and place it into your life face up. Alright. That's actually pretty neat. Activate main/battle. If you have 3 or more face-up cards in your life, place this card into its owner's drop area. You may flip your leader card back to its backside. If you do, place the top card of your deck into your life face up. Alright, so that's very interesting. 5,000 power on the front, but he can't be taking damage. Flips over, has a very interesting positive effect, and then this field card is nuts, actually drawing you mad stuff. The only question I have is, how do you keep your cards from all flipping face up, you know? You've got Ginyu, New Transformation, Unison. He's got Rejuvenate, and then if your leader card is yellow and all of your energy is mono yellow, when this face-up card in your life is placed into your drop area, you don't have a Unison card in play, you may play this card from your hand with a marker on it. Neat. +1, you may place one card in your life under this card. If you do, choose one mono yellow battle card in your hand, place it to your life face up, then draw one card. Okay. Frieza, Trained at Last, Double Strike. 1 yellow. If your leader card is a Frieza army card, and your energy is mono yellow, when this card is face up in your life is placed into your drop area, play this card from your drop area. Okay, that's tight. If your leader card is yellow Frieza's army and you have one face up card in your life in your drop area, place one face up card in your life to your drop area. When your opponent plays a battle card, you may choose that card and switch to rest mode. If you do, draw one card and negate the skill for the turn. Alright, that's pretty neat. Blocker, auto yellow. If your leader card is a yellow Frieza's army, and all your energy is mono yellow, when this card is face up in your life and sent to the drop area, you get to play it instead. If it's your turn and this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards that energy costs 4 or less and destroy it. So this is interesting because so far I haven't really seen much of a consistent way to put your life face down, but you just die, right? We're gonna have to come back in a video to really crack on this, I think. Yeah. I mean, they say managing your life is essential this time around. To drive that point home, taking a look at these 3 cards, all of them will be played after you place a life in your drop area. So use Ginyu Transformation Cutting Edge Recovery Device to swap out your life and the cards you want from play to drop. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And then you've got Rejuvenate, of course, top card of your deck into your life. You have to remove 4 markers to get here though, but you're going to remove 4 markers to get another card face down, so that's pretty cool. Frieza, Divine Transformation. Now this is the biggie, okay? Deflect, Double Strike, and Blocker. This card can't be removed from your battle area by your opponent's skills. Auto, if your leader card is yellow, when this card is played, choose up to all of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO them, then flip one face-up card in your life face down. At the end of the turn, switch this card to active mode. We definitely like that. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a counterattack skill, choose two of their cards, switch them to rest mode, and they can't be switched to active mode until the end of their next turn. Normal yellow shenanigans, okay? Just kind of feels that way. Seems kind of cool. But he is going to allow you to extend your life by playing him, and we dig that. Now the last one, Omega Shenron, allies absorbed. Unique, activate main yellow. Choose one mono yellow shadow dragon with energy cost of 4 or less in your battle area and place it in its own drop area. Draw one card, then play this card from your hand. And this is a shadow dragon, not a Sin Shenron, so this can come down on a lot of stuff. Okay, let me just make sure. Yep, a shadow dragon with energy cost of 4 or less. Wild. Draw one card to replace itself in hand too, that's big. Active main once per turn. If your leader card is a yellow shadow dragon card and you send one mono yellow shadow dragon card with an energy cost between 2 and 4 that isn't Sin Shenron from your drop area to your owner's or to the owner's warp, add up to one card from your life to your hand, and this card gains the skills of the card you sent to warp. So you can't keep doing it all the time, but you can give this guy, he's a 30k, and you can give him things like double strike and crit. You can give him things like, this guy is going to be able to use any effect, and that's very flavorful. But he can only do it a couple of times because, you know, if you're at 4 life. Not really happening, sorry. Been a long day. So I think that's actually really, really cool. That's actually very, very cool. So that is green and yellow. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know. Give me the juice, the sauce. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the content, think about hitting the subscribe button. And I think tomorrow you guys will get the upload of black as well as the master deck. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace.